Good evening, family. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Democratic female actors of evil. That's going to be Dianne Feinstein, Kamala Harris, and Nancy Pelosi. Okay, so we can start with Kamala Harris because I think she's the weaker of the three candidates, even though she has been now chosen as a vice president running mate with Joe Biden, even after she was, um, she was refused to be accepted by the majority of the Democratic Party, and she ended her campaign in December of last year. But in spite of that, she was picked anyway. Okay, now I'm going to pick some numbers because there's a lot of 666 codes also into these three individuals, and there's some very suspicious circumstances surrounding how they came to power, okay, with deaths and people retiring and things of that nature, okay. We know the story of Kamala Harris, how she was the basically the bed wench of Willie Brown, and how she was able to use Willie Brown to move up in the political ranks to become, of course, the state's attorney and then senator. Okay. Now, if you don't know, um, she she replaced Barbara Boxer, whose maiden name was Levy. Okay, and she was the senator from 1992 to 2017, representing California, basically San Francisco area. And when she retired, well, let me just backtrack. This Barbara Boxer Levy, when she won in 1992 as the senator for California, she won by only 4.9%. And we know 49, and 4 times 9 is 36. That's 3 sixes. That's 666. Okay. And her, Barbara Boxer Levy's daughter, married in 1994. Her daughter, Nicole, married Tony Rodham, the younger brother of Hillary Clinton. Okay. And they had a son in 1995 before they divorced. So that kind of lets you know the political connections and the family connections between this Barbara Boxer Levy and the Clintons. Okay. So this Barbara Boxer Levy retired in 2017, and then there was an election for the senator for that spot for California, covering San Francisco's area. And in that election, Kamala Harris was running against Loretta Sanchez in the 2016 Senate race. And guess what? Kamala Harris beat Loretta Sanchez by 61.6% of the vote. Wow, that's 616, that's 66, that's 666. Okay. So, and also Barbara Boxer Levy was the 6th district representative. And she was also an aide to the U.S. Representative John L. Burton. Okay, so there's your 666 all over for Kamala Harris. Okay, now let's go to Dianne Feinstein. Okay, who was born Diane Emile Goldman. Okay, and she was born 6/22/1933. 622 backwards is 226. That's 66. That's 666. 1933, 33, of course, we know is the is the number of the Master Masons. Okay, so she was replaced. She replaced the 37th mayor of San Francisco, George R. Moscone, who was born in San Francisco in 1929. 29, 2 times 9 is 18, that's 666. And he died in 1978, or he was murdered, suspiciously murdered. Now, a person who Dianne Feinstein is opposed to politically turns up murdered in 1978 at the age of 49. Okay, 4 times 9 is 36, that's 666. Okay, and he was, and this occurred, let's see, 3 days after. He was a close friend of John L. Burton, 1966 California Senate, District 10th District of San Francisco County. He's part of the Burton machine, brothers, the Burton brothers, and of course Willie Brown, which we talked about earlier with Kamala Harris. Okay. He was a Roman Catholic, and he's buried at Holy Cross Cemetery. Okay. Now, Dianne Feinstein replaced him as he was the 37th mayor of San Francisco. And Feinstein was elected the president of the Board of Supervisors on a 6-5 vote. Of course, she was the first woman elected as the president of the board. Okay, and Feinstein twice lost the election to office of the mayor of San Francisco, and she became the first woman, the 38th San Francisco mayor from 1978 to 1988. Okay, and she became the senior U.S. Senator from California. She took office 11/4/1992 as one of 2 of the first female senators, along with Barbara Boxer, who we talked about earlier. Okay, so a lot of first women's, leading and doing a lot of things. They're becoming the first women to do these things. Okay, which is not a bad thing, but when you got all of these people as the first accomplishing things, her and Kamala Harris, and of course now we're going to get to Nancy Pelosi, who also was a first. Okay. Let's get to Nancy Pelosi now, who now she's currently holding Philip Burton's U.S. Rep seat, California House. He died in 1983 of a sickness. Okay, ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm. It's funny how the person that Nancy Pelosi is going to take his seat, the guy ends up dying from a ruptured abdominal aortic aneurysm. Okay, in 1983. And then his wife, Sala Burton, Lipschitz, Jewish person, background from Poland, she won a special election in June of 1983 to fulfill her husband, Philip Burton's seat. And then she was reelected in November 1984 to 1986. Okay, but then suddenly she ends up dying of colon cancer in Washington, D.C. in 1987. And then because of her death, okay, Nancy Pelosi later becomes the first female Speaker of the United States House of Representatives from 2007 to 2011, and again since 2009. Okay, she became the first woman to lead the Democratic Congress since starting in 2003. Okay, so um, I say that these three women are what I call Lucifer in a feminine form, the axis of evil. They're the ones that's the top stars now in the so-called Demoncrat Party. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Republican Party lover or Donald Trump lover or supporter, but we must know the history, okay? The Republican Party was started to protect the interests of the majority poor white settlers in the United States. It was to guard them against slavery, because the slaves were taking all of the employment and jobs and everything from the majority poor whites, and the Republican Party wanted to protect the poor white class. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but what's happened is the Democrats, since who is the party, Confederate Party of the slaveholders, since the 1964 and 65 Voting Rights Act and Civil Rights Bills, they have basically hijacked the conservative Republican Party, okay, and now they basically control both parties. So uh, it's not that the Republican Party is not bad. It's just that the original slaveholding party, who was committed to keeping the so-called Negro or African American oppressed in the Americas, in the United States, was the original party. Okay, the Democrat Party. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say I'm going to end this video. And if you like the video, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.